He was 17 years old, sitting on a broken fire escape in the Bronx, watching the city move below him. And he made a decision that most people never make. Not a wish, not a prayer, a decision. His name was Jordan. And everything about where he came from told him exactly who he was supposed to be, and exactly where he was supposed to stay. His mother worked 2 jobs. Cleaning offices at night, cashier at a pharmacy in the morning. She came home smelling like bleach and exhaustion, and she still made sure Jordan had something to eat before she collapsed into sleep. His father was not in the picture, had not been since Jordan was 6. All Jordan had was one memory, his father's hands, big, calloused, holding his once, and then gone. They lived in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a building where the elevator had not worked since 2009. In the winter, the heating barely reached their unit. Jordan slept with his jacket on from November to March. The spark happened on a Tuesday in October. Jordan was 16, sitting in the back of his economics class, the one class he never skipped, when his teacher pulled up a livestock chart on the projector and said, "This, right here, is where real wealth is built or destroyed in real time." Jordan did not hear the rest of the lesson. His eyes were locked on that chart, the lines going up and down like a heartbeat, the numbers changing every second. Something inside him woke up, something that had been waiting his entire life for a door that fit his hand. That night he went home, opened a browser on his mother's old cracked laptop, and typed 3 words. How does trading work? He stayed up until 4 a.m. reading, not for school, not for grades, for himself, for the first time in his life. For himself. He spent the next 6 months consuming everything he could find. YouTube videos at midnight, free PDFs from finance forums, library books on technical analysis that he read with a flashlight under his jacket so his mother would not worry about his sleep. He had no money to invest. So he paper traded. Fake trades, real learning, real discipline. Paper trading taught him something no school ever did, that losing does not mean you are wrong, it means you are learning. He lost his fake money 412 times in 6 months, and every single loss he wrote down. What went wrong? Why? What he would do differently. 412 lessons written in one cheap notebook. When Jordan turned 17, he got a part-time job washing dishes at a restaurant 3 blocks away. Minimum wage, 4 days a week. He saved every dollar he did not absolutely need to spend. After 8 months, he had saved $340, his entire life savings. He opened his first real brokerage account with it, $340. To most people on Wall Street, that is not even a rounding error. To Jordan, it was everything his hands had made in 8 months of standing over a hot sink after school. He did not touch it carelessly. He did not gamble it. He waited, the way his 6 months of paper trading had taught him, for the right setup. He made his first trade on a Thursday morning before school. A small position in a tech ETF he had studied for 3 weeks. He went to school, came back, checked his account. He had made $11.40, $11.40. He sat back in his chair and stared at the ceiling and laughed. The kind of laugh that has tears in it. $11. But it was proof. Proof that the charts were real, that the patterns were real, that the 6 months of fake trades and 400 losses had built something real inside his mind. The money was nothing. The proof was everything. But success never arrives without its cruelest test. 3 months later, Jordan got confident. Too confident. He broke his own rules, took a trade that did not fit his setup because he wanted it to fit, held a losing position too long because he did not want to be wrong. In 48 hours he lost $220, more than half of everything he had saved. He closed the laptop, walked to the fire escape, sat out there in the cold for a long time looking at the city. The same fire escape where he had made his decision. He asked himself one question: is this the moment you stop? Or is this the moment you learn the most important lesson this market will ever teach you? He went back inside, opened the notebook, wrote the loss down, every detail, every mistake, every moment he had broken his own rules. He did not hide from it. He did not blame the market. He wrote, "I did this, and I will never do it again." He rebuilt. dollar by dollar, dish by dish, trade by trade, this time with iron discipline. He followed his rules like they were law. He never chased a trade, never held a loser out of ego, never risked more than he could afford to lose. Slow, steady, surgical. He graduated high school. No college. His mother wanted him to go. He sat her down and showed her his trading journal. Every trade documented, every rule followed, every month showing slow, consistent growth. She looked at the numbers for a long time. Then she looked at her son. And she said, "Okay, but you better not lose my dishwasher money." At 19, Jordan had turned his $340 into $11,000. Not a fortune, but a statement that said, "I know what I am doing, I know where I am going, and nothing about where I started is going to stop where I finish." He started a private trading journal blog. No name, no face, just his documented trades and the lessons behind them. Within 4 months, 12,000 people were following it. Traders twice his age studying the methods of a 19-year-old kid from the Bronx who was still washing dishes on weekends. A hedge fund manager in Manhattan found the blog, read every post, then reached out. He offered Jordan a junior analyst position, no degree required. Performance was the only qualification that mattered. Jordan showed up to the interview in his best outfit. Dark jeans, a clean white shirt, and the same olive jacket. He got the job. Walking into that Manhattan office for the first time, glass walls, city views, Bloomberg terminals on every desk, Jordan stopped for one moment in the lobby, looked around, took a breath, then straightened his olive jacket, and walked in like he had always belonged there. Because in every way that actually mattered, he had. By 22, Jordan had launched his own trading fund. Small, independent, disciplined. He called it Bronx Capital, not to be poetic, but because he never wanted to forget what the fire escape felt like. Because the cold of those November nights was the thing that made him sharper than anyone who had ever been warm their whole life. By 24, Bronx Capital was managing over $3 million in assets. Every investor had come through word of mouth. No advertisements, no pitch decks, just performance, just the numbers speaking for themselves in the language that Wall Street respects above everything else, results. He moved his mother out of the Bronx apartment. She cried. Not sad tears, the kind of tears that had been waiting 20 years for permission to fall. He bought her a house in a quiet neighborhood in New Jersey, a garden, a porch, a kitchen with a table that did not wobble. She cooked the first meal in that kitchen and set the table for 2, just like she always had, just with different hands and a different heart. Jordan went back to the Bronx once a month. To the old building. Sometimes he sat on the fire escape, not because he was stuck in the past, but because the view from that fire escape was the most important view he had ever had. The view of a boy who decided. He started a free financial literacy program for teenagers in the Bronx. Every Saturday morning, trading basics, risk management, compound interest, the things no school in their neighborhood ever taught them. He showed up every single week without fail. Because someone had once left a stock chart on a projector, and it had changed the entire direction of his life. Today, Bronx Capital manages over $20 million. Jordan is 26 years old. He still carries the same cheap black ballpoint pen behind his right ear. He still has the original notebook, 412 paper trading losses documented in ink. He keeps it in the top drawer of his office desk. He opens it sometimes, not to remember the pain, to remember the process. Jordan did not have a trust fund, did not have a mentor who handed him opportunities, did not go to an Ivy League school. He had a broken fire escape, a cracked laptop, a $340 savings account, and a decision. That is all. That was enough. The market does not know where you grew up. The chart does not care what your last name is. The numbers do not check your zip code. The only question the market ever asks is whether you are disciplined enough, patient enough, and hungry enough to learn what it is trying to teach you. From a broken fire escape in the Bronx to Bronx Capital, from $340 to $20 million under management. From a boy who slept in his jacket because the heat did not reach his floor, to a man who now makes sure other kids from his neighborhood never have to feel that cold alone. This is what Zero to Empire actually looks like, and your story is just getting started.